They laughed. When I quit my job, now they're begging me for work. The fluorescent lights buzzed like a swarm of angry bees, casting a sterile glow over the open-plan office. I sat at my desk, staring at a spreadsheet that hadn't changed in 3 hours. My name's Alex Harper, 32, a mid-level data analyst at Crestwood Solutions, a company that prided itself on innovative synergy, but really just churned out reports nobody read. My inbox was a graveyard of unread emails, and my coffee had gone cold, again. Alex, you done with the Q3 projections? My boss, Greg, loomed over my cubicle, his tie slightly crooked, his breath smelling of stale coffee and misplaced authority. Almost, I lied, minimizing a Reddit tab I'd been scrolling for the past 20 minutes. Our anti-work was my sanctuary, a place where people vented about soul-crushing jobs like mine. I'd been at Crestwood for 7 years, and every day felt like I was selling pieces of my soul for $65,000 a year and a 401k that wouldn't let me retire until I was 80. Greg smirked. Don't stay too late, champ. Big meeting tomorrow. Need you sharp. He clapped my shoulder, leaving a faint scent of his overpriced cologne. I nodded, but inside, I was screaming. I wasn't champ. I was a cog in a machine that didn't care if I lived or died. That night, I went home to my one-bedroom apartment, ate microwaved leftovers, and opened my laptop. Not to work, but to dream. I'd been side hustling as a freelance graphic designer for a year, posting my work on Upwork and Fiverr. It wasn't much. $200 here, $500 there, but every gig felt like a rebellion against Crestwood's gray walls. The next morning, the office was abuzz with rumors. Crestwood was merging with a bigger firm, and restructuring was the word of the day. During the all-hands meeting, the CEO, a guy who looked like he'd been born in a three-piece suit, droned on about efficiency and streamlining. Translation: layoffs were coming. After the meeting, I overheard Greg and a few colleagues at the coffee machine. Harper's probably on the chopping block, Greg said, chuckling. Guy's been coasting for years. Coasting, I muttered under my breath, my fists clenching. I'd pulled all-nighters for Greg's last-minute reports, fixed his mistakes, and never complained. Coasting, my ass. That night, I couldn't sleep. My bank account had $4,327.62. Not enough to quit, but enough to make a reckless decision feel possible. I opened my Upwork profile. I had 12 5-star reviews and a small but growing client base. My designs, logos, website mock-ups, social media graphics, were getting noticed. One client, a startup founder named Priya, had messaged me, "Your work's incredible. Ever thought about going full-time freelance?" At 2 a.m., I drafted my resignation letter. At 3 a.m., I deleted it. At 4 a.m., I rewrote it. By 7 a.m., I was standing in Greg's office, letter in hand, heart pounding like a drum. "Alex, what's this?" Greg skimmed the letter, his eyebrows shooting up. "You're quitting? You serious?" "Yeah," I said, my voice steadier than I felt. "I'm done." He laughed, a sharp barking sound. "Done? You're gonna what? Start a lemonade stand? This job's the best thing you've got, Harper. You'll be back begging for your desk." I forced a smile. "We'll see." Word spread fast. By lunch, my coworkers were snickering. "Alex thinks he's gonna be the next Elon Musk," said Sarah, the HR rep who always wore too much perfume. "Good luck with that." I packed my desk, 7 years reduced to a cardboard box, and walked out. The laughter followed me to the elevator. The first month was brutal. My savings dwindled faster than I'd expected. Rent was $1,200, utilities another $150, and don't get me started on groceries. I hustled on Upwork, taking every gig I could. $50 for a logo, $200 for a website banner, $300 for a full branding package. I worked 16-hour days, fueled by instant noodles and desperation. Priya, the startup founder, became my anchor. Her company, Green Vibe, was building an eco-friendly apparel brand, and she loved my minimalist designs. "Alex, you've got something special," she said during a Zoom call. "Keep at it, and I'll send more work your way." But not everyone was Priya. Some clients were nightmares, demanding endless revisions, ghosting on payments, or leaving one-star reviews when I delivered exactly what they asked for. I doubted myself daily. Had I made a mistake? Should I crawl back to Crestwood? Then, a breakthrough. Priya's company landed a feature in a sustainability blog, and my designs were front and center. The comments section exploded. "Who did their branding? It's fire!" Overnight, my Upwork inbox was flooded with inquiries. I raised my rates. $500 for a logo, $2,000 for a full package. Clients didn't blink. By month 3, I was making $6,000 a month. Not Crestwood money, but enough to breathe. I upgraded my laptop, bought a proper desk, and started saying no to lowball offers. My portfolio grew, and so did my confidence. 6 months after quitting, I was pulling $10,000 a month. Green Vibe became my biggest client, paying $5,000 for a rebrand. I hired a part-time assistant, a college kid named Mia, to handle admin tasks. I wasn't rich, but I was free. No Greg, no cubicle, no soul-crushing meetings. Then the email came. From Gregorian subject, opportunity. Alex, it read, heard you're doing well. Crestwood's launching a new marketing campaign, and we need top-tier design work. Interested? Name your price. I stared at the screen, my jaw tight. Greg, who'd laughed me out the door, was now asking for my help. I didn't respond. A week later, Sarah from HR called. Alex, we're in a bind. The merger's a mess, and our new designer flaked. Greg says you're the guy. Can you meet? I agreed, not because I needed the work, but because I wanted to see their faces. At the meeting, Greg was all smiles, like we were old pals. Alex, buddy, your freelance thing's impressive. We need that magic here. $5,000 for the campaign. What do you say? I leaned back, savoring the moment. My rate's $15,000 per project minimum. 3-week turnaround, 50% upfront. Greg's smile faltered. Sarah coughed. That's steep, Greg said. Take it or leave it, I said. I've got 3 other clients waiting. They took it. I delivered the campaign. Clean, professional, better than anything Crestwood deserved. When I sent the final files, Greg emailed back, "You're killing it, man. Any chance you'd come back full-time?" I didn't reply. I was too busy signing a $20,000 contract with a tech startup. A year after quitting, I was making $150,000 annually, more than double my Crestwood salary. I moved to a better apartment, took a vacation to Bali, and donated $5,000 to a local art program. My Reddit posts on r/anti-work, chronicling my journey, got thousands of upvotes. Strangers messaged me, "You're living my dream." Then, the cherry on top. At a networking event, I ran into Sarah. She looked frazzled, her perfume as overpowering as ever. "Alex, you're doing amazing," she said, almost pleading. "Any chance you're hiring? Crestwood's cutting staff again." I smiled. "Sorry, Sarah, I'm booked." As I walked away, I heard Greg's laugh in my head, now just a faint echo. They'd laughed when I quit, but I was the one laughing now, not out of spite, but because I'd built a life that was mine. The networking event's chatter faded behind me, replaced by the hum of the city. Car horns, distant music, the pulse of possibility. I stepped onto the street, my phone buzzing with a new Upwork notification. Another client, another project, another step toward something bigger. 18 months after quitting Crestwood, my life barely resembled the one I'd left behind. My apartment was now a sleek loft in a trendier part of town, with floor-to-ceiling windows that let in golden morning light. My desk, once a wobbly IKEA relic, was now a custom oak setup with dual monitors and a coffee machine that didn't spit out sludge. Mia, my assistant, had gone from part-time to full-time, handling emails and scheduling so I could focus on designing. My portfolio was a thing of beauty. Sleek logos for tech startups, vibrant branding for eco-conscious brands, even a mural concept for a local cafe that went viral on Instagram. I was pulling $200,000 a year now, a number that still felt surreal when I checked my bank account. But success didn't mean I was coasting. Freelancing was a treadmill, and the moment you stopped running, you fell off. Clients could be fickle, and the pressure to stay relevant was relentless. Every night, I scoured design blogs, studied competitors, and experimented with new tools like AI-driven design software to keep my edge. One morning, as I sipped an overpriced oat milk latte, Mia burst into my home office, her laptop balanced precariously on one arm. "Alex, you're not gonna believe this," she said, her eyes wide. "Check your inbox, like, right now." I opened my laptop, and there it was, an email from Nexus Collective, a global design agency I'd idolized since college. Their work was legendary. Think Super Bowl ads, rebrands for Fortune 500 companies, campaigns that defined cultural moments. The subject line read, "Collaboration opportunity with Alex Harper Designs." "Dear Alex," the email began, "we've been following your work, particularly your branding for Green Vibe and the viral cafe mural. We're impressed by your ability to blend minimalism with emotional resonance. Nexus is launching a new division focused on sustainable brands, and we'd like to discuss a potential partnership. Are you available for a call next week?" I read it twice, then leaned back in my chair, heart racing. "Mia," I said, "is this for real?" She grinned. "I cross-checked their domain. It's legit. Alex, this is huge." The call with Nexus was surreal. Their creative director, Elena Voss, was a design world rock star, known for her razor-sharp feedback and zero tolerance for mediocrity. She joined the Zoom call from a sleek office in New York, her background a wall of awards and framed campaign posters. "Alex, your work has soul," she said, her voice calm but commanding. That's rare. We want you to lead the creative vision for our sustainability division. You'd oversee a team, consult on major projects, and have access to our global network. But it's a big commitment. Relocation to New York, full-time role, the works. What do you think? I hesitated. A year ago, I'd have sold my kidney for this offer. But now, I love my freedom. The ability to work from anywhere, to pick my clients, to set my own hours. Joining Nexus meant trading that for a corner office, a fancy title, and a team I'd have to manage. It was Crestwood all over again, just with better pay and shinier walls. I'm flattered, I said, choosing my words carefully. Can I have a week to think it over? Elena nodded. Take your time, but know this, opportunities like this don't come twice. That night I couldn't sleep. I paced my loft, the city lights twinkling outside. Part of me craved the validation of Nexus, a chance to play in the big leagues, to prove I wasn't just a fluke. But another part screamed to stay free, to keep building Alex Harper Designs into something uniquely mine. I called Priya my Green Vibe client and now a close friend. Alex, you've already won, she said over the phone, her voice warm but firm. You don't need Nexus to validate you. You left Crestwood to escape a cage. Don't walk into another one. I spent the week weighing my options. I made pros and cons lists, crunched numbers, even posted a vague question on r/anti-work. Big corporate offer versus staying independent. What would you choose? The responses were split. Some said take the money and prestige. Others warned I'd lose my soul again. One comment stuck with me. You didn't quit to trade one boss for another. Keep your freedom. On day 6, I emailed Elena. Thank you for the incredible offer, I wrote, but I'm committed to growing my own brand. I'd love to collaborate as a consultant, not an employee. Let me know if that's an option. Her reply came fast. Bold move, Alex. We respect it. Let's discuss a consultancy. Same projects, no strings. Call me tomorrow. I exhaled, relief washing over me. I'd chosen myself, again. 2 years after quitting Crestwood, Alex Harper Designs was no longer just me and Mia. We were a team of 5, designers, a copywriter, and a social media strategist, working out of a co-working space with exposed brick walls and a coffee bar that rivaled Starbucks. We landed contracts with brands I used to dream about, from sustainable startups to a major NGO. My Reddit posts, now a series called From Cubicle to CEO, had inspired thousands, some even messaging me to say they'd quit their jobs to chase their own dreams. One day, as I was reviewing a pitch deck, my phone buzzed. It was Greg, again. Alex, mate, his voicemail said, Crestwood's tanking. Merger fell through, layoffs everywhere. I'm, freelancing now? Any chance you're hiring? I didn't call back. Not because I hated Greg, he was just a product of the system, but because I was too busy building mine. Instead, I sent him a link to Upwork with a note. Start small, Greg. It's worth it. That evening, I stood on my balcony, the city sprawling below. The echo of Greg's laugh was gone, replaced by the hum of my own life. Clients, creativity, freedom. They'd laughed when I quit, but I wasn't laughing anymore. I was living. Background music, Elysium, Ryan Eamon-inspired, royalty-free. Ethereal strings and a triumphant melody fade out, leaving a sense of closure and hope.